Hello and welcome to another one of my dungeon reviews, and today you're in for a bit of a treat. It is in fact Stormstout Brewery, which is recorded on the Mists of Pandaria beta. Chen Stormstout, who is a big revered figure within the Pandarian culture, you might know him from Warcraft 3, has a brewery in Pandaria that's named after him, and it's sort of been overrun by vermin, who are the new weird rat-like creatures in Mists of Pandaria, and Hosen, who are the big monkeys, as well as some elementals and things, which are kind of elementals but like beer. A couple of one of Blizzard's amazing ideas there, yeah, I know. A couple of the less than savoury races that also inhabit Pandaria. You're tasked with reclaiming his family heritage and his beer. So here we're just going through some trash mobs. I must point out that this group, we were just kind of went straight into it, kind of head first, so we didn't really know any of the tactics for any of the bosses, and we did die a lot. But I'll try and run you through most of what I know about the tactics as we go through them this time. To start with, it's just killing a bunch of trash. I really do like the layout of this, it's quite fun. And it's all just quite well designed, yeah, as I say. Even though this is only in beta, they've certainly captured the idea of a brewery, and it's overrun by hundreds of monkeys, as you can see. It's just generally quite cool. Now, we're getting up to the first boss here. As you can see, there are barrels rolling across, and as I find out shortly, if you get hit by one of them, you get 50k damage dealt to you. The boss here, this is the first of three bosses, is called Ukuk, and is basically a giant Hosen. It says, even for a Hosen, Ukuk has a reputation of being uncouth and raucous. He has a few abilities. One's called Going Bananas, which are 90%, 60%, 30% remaining health. He gets increased attack speed by 15% and damage dealt by 15%. That stacks up to 3 times. In addition, this causes a wave of rolling barrels, which basically just spawns more and more barrels. He does Ground Pound, which he pounds the ground every second for 3 seconds, inflicting 20k physical damage to all enemies within a 45-degree cone and stunning them. Rolling Barrel. His entourage periodically throw rolling barrels which roll across the room until they hit a wall player or Ukuk himself. At 90%, 60%, 30% health remaining, the barrels thrown more often. Brew Explosion. Rolling barrels inflict 50k physical damage, as I said, to players, and 10k physical damage to Ukuk, and his increased damage taken by 10% for 15 seconds. So what you can do is actually jump on them and roll them into him if you want. So yeah, that's the first boss fight. That's the easiest of the three, believe me. It sort of gets harder from then on. The next boss is called Hopscotch and is a verming. We venture outside now and take off a few little vermings called hoppers. You'll see these in the boss fight because he summons three different ads, which the boss fight here is quite confusing. It's not as bad as the last one, believe me, but it's quite... Yeah, here you get a little move that you can use, which is called Smash. There, I just used it, and what it does is it kind of kills off quite a small ads all around you, and the biggest ones it doesn't kill, but it does severe damage to them. So yeah, we're just getting out here to the area of the boss fight. There he is. Right, Hopscotch. What he does is Carrot Breath is one of his moves, which he slowly turns into circles, spewing vile carrot juices, which inflicts 30k damage and knocks targets back in a 20-degree cone. Whirlwind, which is basically whirlwind, but Whirlwind. It's Blizzard trying to be funny. He spins in a circle. It's basically a whirlwind. It does 30k damage every second to surrounding units, and slows movement speed by 70%. A Shield Screech. He'll periodically emit a cry that will call for ads to come to him. There's 3 types of ads. There's Hoplings, which are the smallest, and they just do a little bit of damage when they hit you. Hoppers, the middle-sized ones, you've got to worry about them because they've got a barrel of explosives in their mouths, and if they get to their targets, they blow up, which you don't want to happen. It does 30k damage to enemies within 10 yards and knocks them down. And you've got boppers, which are the biggest ones, and they carry hammers. If you kill a bopper, the biggest one, then you get a hammer, and you can use the special buff 3 times to kill surrounding ads. So there's kind of 2 tactics. You can either do that and kill the ads, or you can just go for the explosive ones so that they don't do too much damage. As you can see, I died in that fight. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to kill him. There's a lot of AoE damage going on. I was a bit worried. that one was good fun though. And then, yes, we go down. This is where we first see the first elemental here. And we're going in towards the last fight, which is Yanzu the Uncast. This is an insane fight, believe me. It's like... I'll get into it. He has sort of 3... Well, I say 3. He's got a lot of worrying abilities, actually. First of all, I'll explain. He does an ability called Brew Bolt, which is there are no players near him. He starts casting Brew Bolts that inflict 30k frost damage and increase magic damage taken to the targets. And then he gets one of 2 abilities, Bloat, which causes the target to gush brew from their ears for a minute and inflict 20,000 physical damage to and knock back targets in 10-degree cone. So what you want to do is you get Bloat, you want to make sure you run away from all the other members of the group. Blackout Brew inflicts 10k frost damage to all players and applies 3 stacks of Blackout Brew, which if you get to 10 stacks you get stunned for 10 seconds, which you don't want. So you want to move around or jump, get through the stacks. At 75% health remaining, he gets a couple new abilities. Bubble Shield, which covers himself with 8 small bubbles, which each give him 10% damage reduction. And also he can summon forth Yeasty Brew Elementals, which are little ads to help him. Which can use Ferment, which restore 1% of health and mana to him every 1 second. 50% health remaining, he gets another couple of abilities. Carbonation, which is a really annoying one. He fills the room with carbonation, which inflicts 1k damage every second for 20 seconds to enemies that are close to the ground. And asphyxiates you, so you can't do anything at all. Turns out he also spawned Fizzy Bubbles, which I didn't know when I first did this, which when you click on them you can fly around for 20 seconds, which means you don't get the damage. Wall of Suds is one of the last abilities he does after 50% health. He periodically summons forth walls of Sudsy Brew, inflicting 10k frost damage every half a second to players that stand in the wall and stuns them for 5 seconds. Sudsy nature of Yanzu grants players the ability to jump extra high. So, yeah, as I say, this fight went on for way too long. So, I mean, you can see the bit at the start of it here and him using moves. There's carbonation there. I obviously didn't know to use the bubbles, so I was just getting damaged and being stunned. And he uses Ferment there, which heals him, which is why he keeps going up. Kept going up and down health, and we had a couple of people died and rezzed. So, yeah, it went on for a long time, so I think I'll skip a bit of it. Let's just see if he uses. Always using carbonation again. That was a Brew Bolt. Yeah, anyway, you get the gist. This took a hell of a long time to kill, but only because we didn't know what we were doing. I reckon for an experienced group that know what they're doing, it won't take long at all. Yeah, so, and that's the last boss fight, so I'll just skip to the end. Yeah, there I am. Dead. Let me summarize me. Yeah, they're all really fun fights, actually. I think Blizzard's done well in this first Mrs. Pandaria dungeon that I've tried. I really enjoyed it. I hope this has given you an insight and told you a bit what to do so you don't fail as miserably as I did in some of these and get through it quickly. But the design's really cool, and it's certainly an improvement on some of the old ones. So, thanks for watching, and see you next time.